Alright, in this one, I want to share some alternatives to the usual Office and cloud tools most of us know. Big Tech gives us Microsoft Office and Google Workspace, but what if you want something simpler, private, or even free? Let's take a look. So first up, I'm going to run with some of the common ones, and we're going to start with Microsoft. So with Microsoft, for the Office tools, we'd get Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, followed by OneDrive as the cloud storage solution. And with Google, we would get Docs, Sheets, and Slides as the Office tools, followed by Google Drive as the cloud storage option. Now, of course, both Microsoft and Google offer paid and free tiers. However, whether you're going for their paid or their free tiers, you're essentially trading over your privacy, which means your data is scanned, analyzed, and tied back to their ecosystem, or of course, you become vendor locked under their one subscription for so much premium value. So let's take a look at some of the alternatives here. We're going to minimize this and this here. Then I'm going to go ahead and open up the Brave browser. And real quick, we're going to go with, we can just drop into OnlyOffice first, that's fine. So OnlyOffice.com, and this is going to be one of our first Office alternatives. And then we can drop into download, go to desktop and mobile apps. And from here, we can see that this is a cross-platform solution. So it does work with Windows, Mac OS, and Linux. And if we scroll through, we can see the different versions of Windows that it does still support, followed by Mac OS, and followed by Linux. And then we can, of course, drop into LibreOffice here. We can get access to this at LibreOffice.org. We can drop into download LibreOffice, and if we scroll through, we'll see two options here, 25.8.1 and 25.2.6. Now 25.2.6 is only maintained until November 2025, so just keep that in mind. However, what's nice about these tools is that these are cross-platform as well, so they work with Linux, Mac OS, and Windows, and we can see that as well up here. Now I know if we run through this, you don't necessarily see the 32-bit option. However, if you drop into 32-bit here, it will update, and we'll see 32-bit followed by the ARM processor and 64-bit, as well as the two different chip types for Mac OS. What's really nice about both LibreOffice and OnlyOffice is that they are both free and open source solutions. Therefore, you can download and use these tools entirely for free. And I just want to share with you what they would look like once we have them downloaded. So we have LibreOffice here and OnlyOffice there. I do have them opened up already, so we're just going to show the dashboard. So this is the LibreOffice dashboard, and we do see that we get document tools, spreadsheet tools, presentation tools, followed by some additional options here. And as well, this is the OnlyOffice. We're going to go ahead and close this. This is the OnlyOffice dashboard. And as well, we get document tools, spreadsheet tools, and presentation tools. So as we just saw, it does read the presentation slides. But what's nice about this is that Microsoft typically works with these same file formats of DOCX, XLSX, and PPTX. So whether you've created these files in Microsoft environment or you're creating them in OnlyOffice or LibreOffice, they will read and write between these environments. So we can actually see that by opening up a document in the .docx file, as well the spreadsheets here in XLSX. And of course, we did have the presentation one opened already, but we can open that back up, which was the PPTX. And we see that each of these files can be read, edited, and so on. And as well, let's minimize here, drop back into the LibreOffice, and we can open same files, whether it be a document, slides, or spreadsheet. So we'll just go ahead and kick open the document. I won't run through all of these, but there we go. We can see that the document will work in LibreOffice as well as it will work in OnlyOffice. So we're going to go ahead and close this here. And then last but not least, we're going to open the Brave browser once again, and then we're going to drop into the alternative cloud storage solution. So I would recommend pCloud. Now the difference between pCloud and the other tools that I've just introduced, this one is not necessarily free and open source. It does offer a free tier, but of course it is not open source like these other tools that we have just walked through. First thing I want to introduce is the pricing. So you do have, we're going to right click here, open a new tab. You have 3 different tiers, and you have the monthly tier, annual tier, or lifetime. And what's nice is I think we all know that Microsoft nor Google offer a lifetime subscription. So of course you can do a one-time payment to gain access to this storage space, and so on and so forth for these 3 different options here. Or of course you can select an annual subscription, and these are the different options, followed by a monthly subscription with these options here. Now, if we go back to the home page, it would typically say sign up for a free account, no credit card required, but of course I'm already logged in. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select go to my account. And real quick, this is of course the pCloud dashboard. So we see my pCloud, we're in my pCloud here. And then we have photos, audio, and shared. And of course we see the folders that we have here, which is my music, my pictures, and my videos. Now real quick, we do also have a PDF here, which just shows you how to get started with pCloud, but I'm gonna open that up and show you another alternative tool here at the end. So I'll wait to show you that. But if we click down here, we can see just on the initial setup between setting up the desktop app, uploading a file, and verifying our email, we have unlocked 5 gigabytes of free space. And if we do each of these additional options here, we can unlock up to 10 gigabytes of free space. So you don't absolutely have to set up a paid subscription for this one. So we're gonna minimize. And the other cool thing that I really like about pCloud is if you download the desktop app, it gives you access to a virtual drive. So we're gonna open this here just to show you what this dashboard would look like, if you will. I'm not gonna select the account because I don't want it to show all my personal information, but I'm gonna minimize, and we're gonna open the File Explorer. And then what we can do is come over here and we see our mounted drives here, but additionally we can see the virtual drive for pCloud. And just like on the web app, we had my music, my pictures, my videos, followed by the getting started with pCloud file. Now, I said I was gonna open this up on the desktop because what I wanted to show is I'm gonna right click. And of course you can open this with Adobe Acrobat to read your PDFs, or if you don't typically like Adobe Acrobat or pay for Adobe Acrobat, you can also install a tool, an alternative tool called Okular, which should be in here somewhere right here. And this is going to be a PDF reader as well as annotator. So you can highlight, annotate these PDFs. And of course you don't have to set up an Adobe Acrobat account or pay for Adobe Acrobat just to read and write PDFs. And that's it. That was the alternative tools. So we'll go back just to highlight those here for you. We had LibreOffice, OnlyOffice, pCloud, and then of course Okular. All right, I hope that helps.